Hello, a very good evening to everyone. Welcome to Love Talk. I'm here with Elena, as usual.
As usual, until death do us part, my dear.
And today, or tonight rather, we want to tell you what this has to do with your love life. If you know what this is, I'm going to tell you what this has to do with your love life. So don't go anywhere. We're going to listen to a beautiful song. We'll be right back.
I've been waiting for so long, but now my time has come. I will make this day my day, for the Lord is in this place. I've been waiting for so long, but now my time has come. I will make this day my day, for the Lord is in this place. Now is my time, oh Lord, to change my life. As I use my faith, I can no longer be the same. This is my decision. Now is my time, oh Lord, to change my life. As I use my faith, I can no longer be the same. This is my decision. I've been waiting for so long, but now my time has come. I will make this day my day, for the Lord is in this place. I've been waiting for so long, now my time has come. I will make this day my day, for the Lord is in this place. Now is my time, oh Lord, to change my life. As I use my faith, I can no longer be the same. This is my decision. Now is my time, oh Lord, to change my life. As I use my faith, I can no longer be the same. This is my decision. Now is my time, oh Lord, to change my life. As I use my faith, I can no longer be the same. This is my decision. Now is my time, oh Lord, to change my life. As I use my faith, I can no longer be the same. This is my decision.
Welcome back. Before we move on with the program, I just want to tell you that we would like to receive your questions about relationships. If you're married, you're single, you're dating, divorced, widowed, any questions you have regarding your love life, send it to us. You can either type it as a comment on the program. If you want your question to remain private, you can send us a private message on our private page or the page of the UCKG Asia, and we are going to reply to all your questions. We have one question to answer today. But before, most people know what this is, right? This is a Phillips screwdriver.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah, now that you said it, I didn't quite know the name, but I know it's a tool. You know.
So this screwdriver is used for a particular thing. You can't use it as a hammer. You can't use it as a scissors. It has a particular use. And when we talk about relationships, immediately people talk about feelings, emotions, your heart. They think about romance. But actually, all these things are wrong tools to use in your love life. There's a place for emotions. There's a place for this tool. But there's also many places that you can't use this tool, and emotions are like this.
Yeah, emotions is something you have to be very careful, because depending on what you do with your emotions, you will have, there will be consequences. And some of those consequences will be almost irreversible. I know this may sound again a bit too dramatic, but it's what we have seen in the life of many couples. They want something, but they use the wrong tool to achieve that something. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, right?
Yeah. And here's the thing, since there's a tool for everything, you have to understand that emotions is a wrong tool to fix problems. You cannot fix problems with emotions. When you were at school learning maths or learning science, you didn't use your emotions to fix that problem. You use your intelligence. And that's the same thing with your love life. A lot of people have huge problems in their relationships because they get angry, they explode in a moment of anger, they fight, and that has to do with emotions. And you can't take that back. That's going to create for you a big problem. What you should have done when the person that was there with you, your husband, wife, was having an angry moment, you should have been the one using the tool of reason. You should have stepped back and thought, if I argue back, it's going to make the problem worse.
Yeah, I mean, this topic of the emotions is so broad. We were even discussing it last night on how we can explain this to you, because it's so broad, and this is what people do, right? They learn so much from TV and magazines and their friends, who many times don't know what advice to give, but they still go ahead and tell them what they think, and the person takes that advice of someone who is not qualified and applies it because it feels good, it feels right. I just feel like doing it. Or, he did this to me, so you know what? You go, girl. You do it. You do the same. Or you go, man. Nothing against women here because I'm a woman myself. But it's the emotion that tends to prevail, and that is wrong. Logic should prevail.
How many people, they found out the husband cheated, so they got angry, they went and cheated as well. That doesn't make sense in anybody's head, right? That doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. It's a stupid decision. It's a foolish decision. It's a dumb decision because you just became as bad as the person you criticized. You said, oh, my husband was terrible because he cheated on me, so I'm going to cheat on him as well. That means you are also terrible. You didn't fix the problem. That is an example of how in a marriage, because we're talking about marriage first.
We'll go to the singles
in a moment. So you're not going to solve a problem doing that. You have to find out why that unfaithfulness happened, if you can prevent it, if you can move forward from that. Same thing with the argument. The person is shouting. You're not going to shout back because that's not going to solve the problem. You need to find out intelligently how you can step back and fix that position, or that problem. So we can understand emotions are important because you express your love for the person. But when it comes to solving problems, two things: solving problems and making decisions, problems and decisions, you can never do them based on emotions.
That's right. And how many times have you heard us say that in the church? How many times? So many times. But this is something that has to get You can't just listen to it. You need to at least give it a try and see the results of you using logic, intelligence over what you feel. Because you know what? To do what you feel is too easy. How can you expect to have something good in life if you only do what you feel like it? For example, I am having right now a latte with no sugar. Is it my favorite drink? No. I would rather have a very nice, sweet hot chocolate with lots of cream. But logic tells me, you know what, I already had one last week, so now I'm going to take it easy. So everything we do in relationships in life, we have to measure, we have to think, we have to consider, right? Otherwise, you're not going to have good results.
Problems and decisions. Wrong tool to use emotion. Let's take a break. Not really a break, but we're going to go to question time, a new feature in this program. Question time, will come back to answer the question. Right, I think that's a common thing. We actually spoke about this, people blocking each other on Facebook. I wasn't expecting a husband to do that.
Yeah, sometimes we talk about things that we hear happen, but when you actually hear, look, this is happening to me, it's a bit shocking, you know, some of the things you hear, but we are going to help you, and this is why we are here.
So, I mean, at some point you're going to be talking to your husband. I know you said he blocked you and you tried to call him, he didn't pick up. It's just a matter of time until you do. You will. And when you do, you have to try to use what we are saying here today of not being emotional to talk to him about how to fix this problem. How not being emotional, because to block someone else on Facebook doesn't solve anything. When you have a problem in a couple, when the dust settles, when you are calm, sit down with the person and say, listen, how can we make sure this doesn't happen again in the future? Next time, there will be a next time you will be upset with me. That happens. Just don't block me on Facebook. Let's talk about it. So in other words, when the dust settles, the problem disappears, and you can talk about it, make sure you put things in place, measures in place, to ensure that this will never happen again.
Yes.
That's the solution.
And also, the person who asked the question, ask yourself the following. Why was I blocked on Facebook? By my husband? Or this could happen to anyone. You know, anyone else blocking you. Maybe you started bombarding him with messages that were not so good. That maybe you were right about your emotion that moment, you were angry. But is it really the right thing to do? What do you get as a result? You get blocked. Because in a way, this might be him kind of protecting himself from also saying things he doesn't want to say. And things that are not really appropriate to talk on social media, even if it's via private message. So this might be also one of the reasons.
So I hope this helps. Remember, don't solve the problem when everything is hot. Let the dust settle. Make sure you put things in place for this not to happen again. Send us your questions to our personal Facebook page or the page of the UCKG in Asia, or you can write your comments. And now for the singles, the advice for the singles. Have a look at this video of a Chinese firecracker. We'll tell you why in a moment. Why did we show you this video? Very simple. Because
That was a noise.
Yeah, if you live in a country where they celebrate Chinese New Year, you are very familiar with that noise. It's kind of surprising when it happens because it's super loud, super fast,
And intense, right? Intense.
and then it dies. And that's what many people do in their love life. They meet someone, 1 week later they are intensely in love. It's not love, but they say
You know what this means? It means that it's not really love, right?
Yeah.
This is
it means it's not true. So these people, they meet this person and they let their emotions lead them to make decisions. So I'm madly, passionately, crazy in love with this person. It's like a firecracker, very loud, very quick, but it dies out. So people who do this, they go from 5 to 10 to 20 of these relationships, but it's never stable because they make the choice of picking the person based on how the person makes them feel, their emotions, and not their intelligent faith.
This is how I'm going to summarize what my lovely husband just said, okay? You should be like a very expensive, refined, premium item that you see in a very expensive shop, where the customer goes in and he says, wow, that is a very nice piece. Wow, oh, but look at the price. I think I need to save up first in order to buy that item.
It's not for everyone.
It's not for everybody. Do you know why? Because it's high quality. It's really well made. It's handmade and whatever. This is how singles should be. If someone wants to have you, or at least date you, or at least get to know you, they need to know, wow, this person is not like everyone else. Look, she's so, different. I need to have a different approach because this one is not going to give herself to me on the first date. This one is not going to change her status on Facebook and send everyone pictures that now she's engaged.
After 1 week,
Yeah, or sometimes less. So, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Don't be a firecracker. Is that how it's?
and when you use your intelligent faith to make decisions, you wait for the right moment. You check the kind of personality and character the person has first, so that later you make a decision. After you make that decision, you see that the person's compatible with you, that they're good for you, you have the same goals for the future, then you can start getting your emotions involved. If you do that before, it's a recipe for disaster. It's a Chinese firecracker, right? When people release firecrackers at night, you wake up out of your bed like it's a nightmare, like something happened. And that's what happens in relationships moved by emotion. Be careful. Don't do that. Take your time. Think. Don't let your heart lead. Let your mind lead.
And many people, then they go on Facebook. Sorry, we talk a lot about social media because this is very in at the moment, right? In our time, there wasn't such thing, right? Anyway, and they go on social media and they say, oh, the love has ended. The emotion is gone, the feeling. There was never love. There was when the eyes, at least my eyes, when I see a very beautiful ice cream, I want to eat it because it's wow. It looks so smooth and so sweet. I'm attracted to it. Some people, they treat relationships like an ice cream. It's not right, because what happens if you keep doing this to yourself, you're going to end up with lots of scars. But those scars are the most dangerous ones. They are the internal scars. And this is what makes people become closed, fearful, suspicious all the time, very jealous, because you have scars, because you threw yourself at every single emotion that came your way.
So that's the moral of the story. Don't be a Chinese firecracker. Let's watch a testimony now. When we come back, we're going to summarize and finish today's program, and we hope that this program today was useful. We'll be right back.
I always looked at marriage as something that I want to do once and for all and forever, but because of the incompatibility, all the issues that went on, I felt really low. I had to get out of it. It was that bad that I had to give up my business just to get away from it completely so I can go and have a new start. I didn't know how to, but I just knew that I had to get out of it. it was partly my fault as well. I think the fact that we were living like thousands of miles apart, and by the time we came together, all the differences came to light. Issues that came to light were not just being able to live together, not having very common goals together. Because when we would meet, when she was away, she would come to the UK. It was like a holiday. It was really okay. When the time came to live together, all of those things came out. The habits, the issues about our daughter, and so issues like this started coming up, and we started finding out that we're not compatible. It's like that deep cut. You felt a deep gash that needed to be healing. But I didn't want to know anything about a relationship. All I just knew was just to have a short-term affair, and that's it. I didn't want to commit. So commitment was a difficult word for me. I just wanted to have an affair, no commitments, and then just get on with life. That's how I felt at the time, and I thought that was okay, but it wasn't. I just sank deeper and deeper into a low kind of state. I was running a business with a business partner, and I just wanted to get away from it. So I completely left that side of my life. The financial side was affected. That area became another issue where I had to continue fighting to get a job, which I wasn't so accustomed to. So I had to go and find a job, which became really very difficult. Confidence was also another issue. I just felt also not trusting, because when I look at my relationship, it failed. That's what it is, because I always thought to myself that I would just be married once and that's it. But it failed, so I was thinking, this is going to work. If I have an affair, I'm not constantly looking at someone and thinking, no, this is not right. I've seen this before, this is no good. No, this is going to cause problems. So it did affect confidence, it affected trust issues were there as well. So it was just a whole mix. It was a cocktail of issues. Those are closest to me would know that these were the issues that I was facing. For others, it would have felt normal. In other words, not the real me, so just putting up a front that everything's fine. If I knew what I found out when I came to the church, then I could have made it work. Having been in a situation for a while, running out of money, I knew that I had to get myself going, get some cash going. I started looking for a job, but I could not find. After retraining and getting qualifications and so on, I couldn't get a job, and so something was stuck. I kept looking, and it just wouldn't happen for me until someone mentioned the church. Perhaps I should pray. This is not the first time someone had invited me, but I always turned it down. But then this job matter now, it was something critical that I had to get, an answer. I had to pay the bills. That's when I decided, okay, I'm going to go. So I went. It was only when I started using my faith and learning all the things, positive things that the pastors have taught me to use my faith. And that's when things started changing. Because initially I didn't know how to handle certain matters. I would just go on my experience and it wouldn't work. For example, the job was so difficult for me to find. But when I came, started using my faith, I found that others start calling me. The companies that had refused me, they started calling and to say to me, no, are you still looking for a job? We have opportunities for you. I do remember when I started coming, my focus was constantly trying to find a job, find things for myself. And I would learn, but stumble. I learned something to try and put to practice, but I would stumble, and then I'll go back again. But then it turned out that only after a short while, I was using my faith, and I found these opportunities started flowing. I realized one bit where it says, seek first the kingdom of God and all other things will be added. That was very, very strong for me. It was really strong. And I just realized all these blessings are coming now. I didn't have them before. So if I think about the things that are more spiritual now, when I'm using my faith, things that are spiritual, all these other things will come anyway. If you were to compare how I was before, I was really low, very down. Confidence was an issue, but now I'm so happy. Confidence has come back. I'm able to even help others as well. I'm very happily married now for 13 years now, and things are going very, very well. I'm very happy. Career-wise too, I've been able to use and I've gone through so many skill sets. I've been able to do very well there. Built a lot of skill sets, and I'm very confident, and I'm very happy with my career. Every time when you make it a purpose of faith, you take action, you see results. So it's like a stepping stone, and you get to that level, and you challenge yourself again. And the closer you get to God, the more challenges that you do, you get closer to God and you get stronger. So my faith has grown much stronger, and it's given me more confidence and more peace. I'm able to just know how to put my trust in God, and knowing that great results will come from it, which is very exciting.
If there was hope for Charles after a divorce, there is hope for you. What do we want you to take from today's program? If you're married, don't make rash decisions in the moment of an argument, a fight, a moment of anger. Wait for the dust to settle, and then have an intelligent conversation of how you can prevent this from happening ever again. Right? Prevention is better than cure. And if you're single, don't make a decision on your future based on a person's looks or appearance, based on how the person makes you feel. Don't be a Chinese firecracker, right?
Take it easy, slow down.
Slow down. It's guaranteed that if you drive too fast, you will crash. This is a lesson we have been teaching in our seminars for many years. This is not something we've learned this week. Something that we have seen happening time and time again to many people for years. So when you make intelligent decisions, you use the right tool for the job, then you guarantee a successful love life, okay? Don't forget to share this program with your friends. Don't forget to send us your questions so we can answer it in question time next week. And it was a pleasure being here with you.
Absolutely. See you all next week again.
And right after our program tonight, enjoy the program Miracles Can Happen. Bye-bye.